The Gratitude and Attitude Podcast. Welcome to Gratitude and Attitude, everybody. I'm Pri, and this is Nan.
Hello.
And we welcome you back to the podcast. For all of you who've been watching, thank you so much. We are so grateful. And today we have some content that's very near and dear to me and also to Nan, but it's kind of funny. I'm going to tell you what the topic sentence is. It's actually just the title of the podcast is The Power of Habits. And we were talking about what we wanted to talk about today. And we were talking about habits. And I would just want to share a little bit about how different your, like what you first thought of when you thought of habits versus what I first thought of. So let me just say, when I thought of habits, oh, wait, I have to specially dedicate this episode
To who?
to Michael. This was Mikey's request.
I didn't even know that.
Nan's nephew, Michael Holt. who
Michael,
is-
shout out to you.
yeah, shout out to Michael, who's an incredible multi-million dollar realtor in Manhattan
Yeah.
who has amazing habits himself, but he's always learning and growing.
Yes.
And when we asked at one point in time, hey, send us topic, subjects that
That's
you want us to talk
right.
about.
Yeah.
Michael
right. Now I
said
remember.
he wanted us to talk about habits.
Yeah.
And so, Mikey, this is for you, our darling.
and
We
he-
love you.
And he definitely has habits.
Oh, he has amazing
He's so
habits.
dedicated to so many things.
But he's always searching for a more effective, optimized
I
way of
know.
living life,
It's
which
so
is
true.
what I love about him. He's always learning.
Yeah.
He's always searching. Mikey, we love you
Yes.
and we are inspired by you.
Yep.
And that's why we're doing this podcast. But back to us. So we were talking about habits and I said, I really want to do this podcast on habits. And you kind of looked at me like, okay. And what did you say? Do you remember what you said?
Well, I went to like habits, like drug habits and
You go, you don't have a drug habit.
I'm like, what do you mean habits? Like bad habits? Like, it was just funny because where my brain went first,
Yes.
yours, of course, didn't go.
Yeah, well,
That's
we're very
a given.
different, as everybody
Yes.
knows. That is a given. Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
So she goes, you don't have a drug habit.
Or you've never had a drug habit anytime.
Like, well, what do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So,
funny.
so we started laughing and I said, that's so funny because for me, being in business and also teaching leaders for like the last 15 years of my career, that's one of the things I did at my own company. And one of the things that we were absolutely adamant about were really good habits, setting habits, breaking habits, what the science of habits was. And so I'm super into habits. As a matter of fact, at the end of every year, like we're filming this in January right now, at the end of January, but at the beginning of December, all the way through to the beginning of January of every year, I review my habits. I review how I'm living life
Wow.
and whether or not I need to set new, better habits for the year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you-
I know.
do you think-
I am like a robot.
Oh, no,
I know that's what you
I was
say.
going to say, do you think because it's so interesting. I didn't know that you did that.
I do.
But I think because okay, so you definitely go over, like you are that person who goes to the top of the top. Like, I think it may be like, but you know what I'm saying? Like you do. Like,
Yeah,
and
everything is-
everything you do,
It's full.
it's full.
Honestly.
So, but I know you're a little OCD also.
Correct. That helps me.
Right.
Yes.
So like, I think that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that about you, that
I
you
do.
went through the year.
Do I
like,
review everything that I've done. I go through my calendar.
Yeah.
I think about the high points of the year, the low points of the year. And what I do is I really go for like now, it's not as much now. I'll tell you. I used to do this in two dimensions. One for my company
Yeah.
and the other for me personally.
Okay.
Because every year since I've been in my mid 20s, which is now 30 years, I would make 2 goals for the upcoming year that were professional, 2 goals that were personal. So then once I started as the acting CEO of the company, when my boss retired, I started looking at, it wasn't me as a professional, it was my company. And then the other 2 were personal. Now, all 4 of my goals are personal. And they really have to do, if you really look at optimizing a life from a kind of more brain perspective, science perspective, everything you do is based on the tiny habits that you have ingrained. So let me just give you an example. When you get up in the morning, it's a habit to brush your teeth.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You can actually fall out of that habit.
That would
You could say,
that would be disgusting.
so gross. Think about this. Way back in the old days, they didn't brush their teeth at
I
all.
know. Maybe they used their finger with water. Let's hope.
There's no way. We should do some research. But back to us.
Yeah.
So when I review my year for the last 3 years that I've been retired, I look at what are the habits that I have that are feeding, optimizing my life, and what are the habits that I have that are like taking from my life. If they're not building, then they're destroying. So there's no neutral. Nobody's ever in neutral. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're either sliding back or you're moving forward. Life doesn't sit at neutral. So when I decide what I'm going to do, like this year, I was like, there's several habits that I want to form and I want to create and do things differently. And there are a couple of habits that I don't want to do anymore.
Like what?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my
Curious.
habits was, one of my habits, it was actually very deliberate, was I wasn't going to set one particular time to wake up every morning. I liked the freedom of waking up whenever I was rested because I used to get up so early.
Okay.
I mean, every year of my career, like I was up I remember one stretch of years, I was up at 3:30 to get to work at 4:30.
Right. And it became a habit because you did it for so many
Correct.
years. So your body.
And then I dropped that habit, and I was
Now-
waking up
now
at
you-
5:30.
I was going to say, now you get up at 5. You slept in.
In fact, this last year, I didn't do 5 as like a set time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to live more creatively.
Yeah.
Well, I realized that the habit of not setting a time created many more days where I wasted morning hours than when I used them well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you get more done. If you get up earlier,
Correct.
you get,
So what is one of my habits this year is to set the same time Monday through Sunday, because I did a bunch of research on sleep.
Yeah.
If you change your wake up time, even just twice a week, so if you have Monday through Friday and then you wake up later Saturday and Sunday, you throw off your biorhythms.
Oh, I don't like that because with the weekends we've got to sleep in.
It's healthier for you.
Damn it!
It's
I'm like
much
trying.
healthier.
I'm trying to get up earlier. I told you, right?
I know.
But I'm like, okay, well, I'll sleep in on the weekends. You ruined it. Now you ruined it
Sorry,
for me.
it's not optimizing. That's not the best sleep habits. That's not good sleep hygiene.
Okay.
Sorry. Don't know what to tell you. That's just what the science
Still
is.
gonna do it.
I know you are. No, you don't care.
Okay, but it's very interesting
All right.
though.
So all of this started with the power of habits.
Yeah.
And so we were laughing because when you think of habits, you jump to one thing, which is
Yeah.
bad habits.
Right.
When I think of habits, I think about good habits because they have the power to make or break your life. You had said something about it's either going to bless your life
Yeah. Or
like bust it. It was like one of
one second.
it's one of the topic sentences that we were going to use. It was
Habits
beautiful.
can bless you or break you.
Bless you or
Yeah.
break you. And that's the absolute truth. So as part of this, and I love that Mikey asked us to do this because this is one of my favorite things to talk about. And I've taught about it
about
also a
habits.
lot. Yeah. Which means I've done a huge amount of reading on it, but it helped me actually. I read some new stuff preparing for this. One of them was an article from the University of South Carolina, which is so interesting. They recapped a bunch of studies that were done from the University of Surrey in England, and then the University of Auckland or something like that in Australia or New Zealand. I don't remember which country. But bottom line is there is new science on habits and about habit formation and breaking habits. Because, for example, I don't know if you knew this, but did you know there's no such thing as breaking a habit?
Well, what do they call it?
You have to overlay a habit. you have to bust one habit
Yeah.
by inserting another one on top.
Yeah, that
You
I
knew
did.
that?
Yeah, I
Okay,
read
good
up
to
about
know.
it. Yeah.
Good.
I read up about that. Yes.
Good.
That's
So-
part of like, so I look at it, I guess it's just the wording.
Yes.
Because you're getting rid of the habit by creating a new habit.
Right. There's no such thing as breaking a habit unless you have a loop that you
Yeah.
lay on top of the bad habit loop. So, give you an example. When I moved into this house, into my house that I'm in right now, I decided every Sunday I was going to clean my refrigerator. So what was my bad habit? My bad habit was to wait to clean out my fridge until I didn't like the way it looked.
Okay.
My new habit is to clean my fridge out every Sunday. Every Sunday night, because the garbage comes on Monday.
Right.
So I was overlaying a bad habit,
Right.
which was basically the the habit was not doing it.
Right.
So I overlaid it with, I'm in a new house. I have a new fridge. Every Sunday, I'm going to clean this fridge out.
Right. You're still doing the habit. I mean, you're still doing the thing that you were doing, but you're just changing the kind of you're still cleaning your fridge, but you're doing it more efficiently.
I'm changing the duration.
Yeah,
I'm more
exactly.
efficient.
You're right.
And it's a part of my week. I mean, every Sunday without fail.
Right. You're not getting rid of the habit. You're
I've overlaid it.
Yes, you've overlaid
it was a bad habit and now it's a good habit.
Right.
Right.
You've turned it into good.
Correct. Because it wasn't a habit. Like a habit is something you do very regularly, right?
Yeah.
So, and regularly means like you've pre-scheduled it in your own mind. So it doesn't necessarily mean like it's at 2:00 every afternoon on Sunday, but it does mean every Sunday. Before, I didn't have a particular day. I didn't have a particular duration. I just kind of was like, oh, I need to do this. I reacted. It actually wasn't a habit. It was just a reaction. So now what I said was, I want to get rid of that bad one because I don't, like, I feel like a little sort of like strain that bumps up against it, against the top of my head because I really need to clean out the fridge. I really need to clean out the fridge. Here's an excellent sort of like cue for you. If you're sitting here watching us thinking about your own habits and you go, I really need to do blah, blah better, that could be your first habit that you can change based on what you learned today and what we share with you and what we share about what we haven't done right in the past. So anyway, I've got some questions that I want to ask you, and then I have some like a basic framework on about habits, and I want to read something to you.
Okay. I have something to read to after. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this was the intro that ChatGPT wrote for me based on what I really wanted to make sure that was my intention in this podcast. Okay. Most of what we do every day is not a conscious decision. Most of what we do every day is not a conscious decision. It's habit. In fact, research shows that roughly 2/3 of our daily behaviors are triggered by habits, not deliberate choice. That means whether we're choosing to scroll our phones, brush our teeth, or reach for a healthy snack, much of it happens on autopilot. Habits are so powerful because once they are formed, they operate with very little mental effort, which can be a blessing when they're good habits and a curse when they're not. On average, it can take about 60 to 66 days of consistent practice for a new behavior to become automatic, and sometimes even longer depending on the habit. That's why in this episode, we're not just talking about motivation, we're talking about transformation and the power of habit. I bet anything that your AI wrote something to that.
Yeah,
same
we're definitely going to have to do research.
Coordinate?
Or in different directions.
Well, I asked, with ChatGPT, can you write me a paragraph on why we're doing it? The good news is we gave ChatGPT the same prompt.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that was basically what you wanted to say too. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. And the same thing about autopilot.
Yep.
Without thinking. It's pretty much the same about talking about what a habit is.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what you said. You're like, what is a habit? You know, I did like this. It says you don't need more willpower. You need better systems and tiny repeats.
I love that.
So it's not just willpower.
Yes.
So you think that you can change a habit, just willpower, but you need a better system and tiny repeats.
I love that.
Right? So that's kind of cool because you think, oh, I just got to have the willpower to change this habit.
Well, let's dive in then. Let's talk about about willpower and about why. Well, first of all, I have a question for you. Do you have any bad habits?
I was thinking about that. Like what would be a bad habit for me? One of my habits a while ago was too much, you know how I am about too much social media.
Yeah.
And I find myself sometimes now, like, especially doing this podcast.
Yes.
I've gotten back to like checking things and that kind of stuff. So I've noticed that like when I start doing that, I'm starting to look and look and look. And I don't want that to be a habit. I don't want to form that habit.
Okay.
And of course, because I think for me, it's okay if it's a little, but if it's too much, then it becomes like a bad habit.
Well, anything in excess is not
excessive.
good.
But I'm trying to think like that would be a habit that I have to watch. Like I have to watch myself not to create that habit of, because you don't realize how much time, you're like, oh my gosh, I have been on here for an hour.
It's a time suck.
Yeah.
Doom scrolling can happen like that.
Very fast.
It's so fascinating. And the people who created the algorithm designed it deliberately to screw with us. It is actually based on addiction science.
Yeah,
what they do.
It feels like it. And you're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, okay, no.
It's
and then I do
I
look at a lot of workout stuff. And so then I get on, that. But I was trying to think of habits. So
I literally cannot think of a single bad habit that you have.
Back in the day, like, when I was younger, I used to smoke cigarettes like back in the day, but I was that person that was like, I never bought them. I always bummed them off somebody, all my friends, but I never was a habit. I never needed it. I never was like, oh, I got to have a cigarette. Or like, I've never been like addicted to anything too. I've never,
it's amazing.
I've never been, because I'm trying to think like, am I addicted to like shopping? Do I love to shop? I don't even enjoy shopping anymore.
Why not?
I don't know.
I love it.
You don't like going to the stores that much.
I mean, it depends on what the store is.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm very curated in the stores I go to.
Are we addicted to Amazon?
Maybe that's our bad habit.
Maybe Amazon.
If you're in the audience right now, raise your hand if you're addicted to Amazon shopping. My sweetheart is like, no more Amazon packages. And I'm like,
the same way. He's the same. He's like, my goodness. He's like, I'm like, the Amazon guy's here again. And sometimes they come like at 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Stupid Amazon people. They need to know that our husbands don't need to see us.
I got to adjust.
What's happening?
I don't know.
It's like your pant seam is like all sideways. Like, you want to stand up or something?
And just
shake it out? Ever? Yeah, just pull your pants down.
I might have to get up, people. So if you see me get up, I'm adjusting.
Yeah, don't be distracted. And she gets up because then she'll have to fix her hair and do all that other stuff.
Oh, God. It's a process. But
Amazon.
Yeah, because I was really thinking, really let me think. It's not a bad habit. Like, so a habit of exercise for me is like, I guess I'm kind of addicted maybe to exercise because if I don't do it, I get upset. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's a habit for me. Like, so if I get up in the morning and I don't do my quiet time with God, that's a habit. Mm-hmm. I get upset. Like if I don't make that time, like if I get out of that habit and I'm like, oh, no, I have to have that. And like, I like a schedule, like that kind of stuff. Like, okay, quiet time in the gym, come in the house, like, so I don't know. Those would all be good habits.
Well, and let's be very clear. This is not a podcast on addiction or about being addicted to something.
No.
A habit doesn't mean an addiction.
Right.
A habit is a behavior.
Right.
that by which you operate your life.
Right. So
67% of what we do
is habit.
is habit.
Right. But that's habit, me getting up in the morning.
That's a positive habit.
Reading, scripture, going in the gym, like that kind of stuff. But I couldn't really think of, well, I get out of bed in the morning and I brush my teeth. That's a habit. There we go. Like you were talking
Not helpful.
about.
Okay.
A bad habit?
Yes. I don't think you have any.
I don't
That's
know.
why I asked if you had any bad habits.
I guess the Amazon would be the worst habit.
Yes, I think so. And I'm going to be very honest and transparent. I think Amazon is my issue also.
Yeah. That's why I said it.
Because it's mine too.
Yeah. I've had to come over and get your packages in your house for you. I'm just saying. I'm like, darn, girl. No, I'm kidding. But that would probably be because, I mean, if you really truly think about it, I can't think of like a bad habit like you have.
Yeah.
Let me think. I don't think I could think of any.
I actually will tell you that, let me see. I used to have a bad habit. I can tell you one bad habit that I had. So because I dealt with a lot of extremely stressful situations at work for a very, very long time, because I have OCD, also the two combined, where I would pick my finger.
Oh.
I would pull at this. See this? I would do that under the table.
Oh.
This was when I got nervous.
I didn't. Oh, wow.
I'd go like this.
You don't do it anymore?
I don't do it at all anymore.
Oh.
But what I would say is I have like all this energy and I didn't want anyone to see me being like fidgeting or ticking or doing this. Like I never, ever, ever did that. Like when I started to get ramped up, I knew what I would do. I would take my rings off. I would go like this and I would put them on a different finger. That's when I would start to feel a little irate. Then the minute I started getting really ticked off, I'd put one hand on the desk and I'd put my other hand under here and I'd be doing this the whole time. In a way, it's kind of a self-soothing, but it's not very valuable.
It's like a nervous.
What it did was pulled like you can worry at your skin enough that you can turn it into like a little thing. Now, if you look at my fingers, they're perfect. But in the past, you would look at this, and I'd be changing my thumb pad fingerprint over and over again. So that was a bad habit. Now, that was an environmental habit. So, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. Like what's intrinsic, what's extrinsic, what's from within, and then what's from outside you. What's outside me is I'm looking at somebody and thinking, you're really not getting it. I thought I had taught you. These are things that I would think when I would be working with somebody, with a leader, because I didn't meet with everybody. I met with leaders and I had a lot of leaders. So I'd be sitting there thinking, we talked about this last week. And I'd go, oh, well, I think we talked about this last week. Is there a reason why you didn't implement it? And inside I'd be like, ah! But I wouldn't show it.
That's stress induced.
Very stress induced. So that was a bad habit. Do I do it anymore? No.
Because you don't have that stress anymore.
That was a really bad habit.
Like my husband bites his, like, it's so funny. Like
He does.
He'll do it when he's like you. When he starts thinking about things and work related, I always know, like when we get back from like a vacation or something, I look over and I'm like, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm not biting my nails. He's just kind of like around that area.
Cuticle.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you're thinking about work, aren't you?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because it's like an automatic, like it's actually like
soothing?
kind of,
Does it help soothe you?
It's half self-soothing.
Okay.
But the other half is like this. See this?
Yeah.
That's the cuticle. That's not the nail. So sometimes I would go here. Sometimes I would go here. But the bottom line was nobody could see me do it. And first it would start as self-soothing. And then it was like, I'm so mad. My energy has to go somewhere. So that's why it was such a bad habit when you think about it. So yes, I did have, I used to have a very bad habit. I'm trying to think about my habits, what bad habits. I'm so fixated on creating good habits now. I think that I don't have enough good habits, but most of what I do, I try and optimize.
You have good habits.
Do you think I have any bad habits that you've seen me do? Yeah.
I think that we have, so you talk about this, but I think you have some tells, but that's a totally different.
Yes.
And for me too, I know I have tells.
Yes.
But they're not, I don't think it's a habit.
Correct. They're not.
But it's a tell, like things that you do that I see.
That's a good podcast for the future.
Yeah.
Let me make a note of that. 'Cause we know who writes the notes and who doesn't write notes, everybody.
But let's talk a little bit about, I know you have a lot to talk about too, but let's talk a little bit about how to break a bad habit.
All right. Let's start with breaking bad habits. And then let's transition about halfway through to creating good habits.
Okay, it sounds perfect.
Perfect. Okay, you're up.
All right, 1 sec. Let me find it. Where are we? Okay, how to break a habit. It says name the habit without judging it. Okay, instead of saying this is bad. This is bad. Say this habit shows up when. So kind of like with you, like you were talking about, like, you know that when you were doing that with your finger, you knew exactly like when it was showing up.
Right.
You know?
I like the without judgment part of it.
Yes. Without criticism of yourself or anything.
Yeah.
Find the trigger, which you've already talked about that.
Yeah.
And we talked about don't remove it. You can replace it too.
Yeah.
Well, you
Well,
talked
that's
about
for
over.
the next. Yeah, that's for the next step.
Let's see. Make the bad habit harder. Add friction. Delete the app. Put distance between you and the habit. Change your environment.
Okay.
If it's inconvenient, your brain will hesitate. Ooh. Make the good habit easier. We'll talk about that. Shift the story. Instead of I'm trying to quit, say I'm becoming someone who doesn't need to do this anymore.
Oh.
So shift.
That's
how
about
you're
identity.
thinking.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah,
today.
identity change is the final break.
Yeah.
You don't break habits with shame. You break them with awareness, compassion, and replacement.
I love that.
So
bad habits.
Bad
Breaking
habits.
Bad habits.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about how you make a bad habit.
Yeah.
This is important. Do you have any information on that? Or do you want me to kind of share what my thoughts are about how you end up having bad habits?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to share. It's very, very simple. It works exactly the way that you create good habits. Okay. A bad habit arises when you do it once and there's a lagging indicator of how bad it is. So for example, I'm going to use a piece of cake or a cupcake. Let's just use a cupcake. A bad habit starts with, I'm going to have this cupcake today.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm always watching what I eat. I'm very, very careful about my food. I know when I start gaining weight, it's because I've gone back to ingesting more sugar. Okay. So I allow myself 2 kinds of sugar a day.
Okay.
This is my good habit. Okay. I have Splenda in my coffee and I have a piece of very dark chocolate at the end of every day.
Yeah.
That's how I feed my sugar addiction. Because that would be an addiction that I have. I love sugar so much. Okay. But all that to say, how do I start a bad habit? I have a cupcake one day. And I'm like, my God, that cupcake was delicious. I get on the scale. That's a habit I have. I get on the scale every day of my life. You're not supposed to, but I do.
Yeah.
It's just how I am.
Uh-huh.
So I get on the scale. I weigh exactly the same the next day that I did the day that I ate the cupcake. So the next day I go into work, say there are cupcakes at work, and I'm like, that's delicious. And my last cupcake didn't affect me. So I eat a cupcake at work. I go a few more days. I go to a birthday party. They have cupcakes there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because the next day after I was at work and I ate the cupcake, I got on the scale. No change. That's what you call a lagging indicator. So I have 3 cupcakes in 4 days.
Yeah, it catches up
And
to
the
you.
next day I get on the scale. I've gained 3 pounds. I mean, I gain weight very, very easily. Also, I'm very tiny. So you immediately see 1 pound on me looks like 2. 3 pounds on me looks like 6. There's not a lot of place for it to go because I'm so short. So all that to say, you start a bad habit because there's a lagging indicator.
It sneaks up on you.
That's the point about bad habits. So what's the most important thing about breaking that bad habit? The first thing is don't start it
Mm-hmm.
because you know already what's not good for you. I know sugar is my drug of choice. So if I have sugar, I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. We went out to dinner last night. I had dessert. I don't go out to dinner a lot.
Right.
So, and a lot of times if I get takeout, I certainly don't order dessert as part of takeout. I want protein. I know that that's not going to be a habit. But if I went out to dinner every night and I had dessert every night, I'd be 10 pounds heavier, 20 pounds heavier, 50 pounds heavier. So how do you create a bad habit? It starts with one tiny decision that you don't feel the immediate effect of.
Yeah, but
until it catches up with you. By the time that lagging indicator shows up, it's a habit.
Right. But too, like you had your chocolate cake, whatever, your little chocolate.
It was my mousse.
Your mousse.
Chocolate mousse.
Which I hate. So she doesn't ever have to worry about me eating her dessert.
That is correct.
I'm not a dessert person. Anyway, but you can control it. So I think too, like if you're able, because you still want to enjoy life. So you don't want to really, if you can do things without creating, like making that a bad habit, you're aware that that can be an issue for you.
Right.
But you have enough self-control where you can have that cake or that mousse.
Correct.
Without going down that rabbit hole where like, today, like we're here, let's have coffee and a donut.
Yeah, I do like, don't say the word donut because that's going to make me want donuts.
I do like a donut. I do,
Well, this comes down to a basic philosophy of choice. And we don't have the same philosophy. That's one thing about us. Yours is like, for you do have self-control in a lot of aspects of your life. Your husband is like my brother. We've talked about that before. We are addicted to sugar.
But you had sugar yesterday.
I did, but I've learned.
That's what I'm saying.
I have it in place.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But until you do, no, your theory doesn't work.
No, that's what I just said. That's what I was saying.
Okay.
When you can have self-control.
Yes.
To be able to enjoy it, because life is short. And if you, like,
yes,
it's hard for people to cut it out completely out of their lives. Maybe if they get to the point where they can have a piece like you do.
Yes.
And then you still can enjoy it. It's like a treat.
Yes.
And it doesn't become a bad habit.
Correct.
Because you know what the outcome would be for you if you kept on doing it.
And the most important part of the outcome is that it's lagging. So, so if you're listening to us right now and you're saying, I have these bad habits, think back on those bad habits.
Yeah.
They typically didn't show up right away. So I'll give you an example. I had an assistant years and years ago. I watched her. Being at work on time was critical at my company because I was super old school. What I would say is if you're not there on time, it means you really don't want to be there for real. And it didn't mean that that I judged immediately. I watched somebody's pattern.
Consistently when they started.
Consistently. Yeah. So I had an assistant who knew like 15 minutes early is on time for me.
Yeah.
On time. If I'm on time, I'm basically late. Right? That was a thing. That was my theory. And that was the governing philosophy at my company. Now, she showed up 4 minutes late day one. I watched her walk in because we had glass walls in our offices. I watched her walk in. I just went back to work. Day two, 3 minutes late. It got to 8 days, 100% of which she was late. And the 7th and 8th day, now I'm very scientific in the way I see this. 7th and 8th day, and I didn't say a word because she already knew what my philosophy was. She knew it. But what happened? She got into the habit of leaving late, so she showed up late. And the first couple of days, she walked to my door and said, I'm sorry, I'm late. There was like something on the road. And I looked up at her and I said, okay. So day 8, she was 15 minutes late because what happened? It became a habit. She said, I'm giving myself more time. I'm giving myself more margin. And if I show up late, there's no response. There was a lagging indicator for her because I called her into my office and I said, okay, Lisa.
Yeah.
I've watched you. You were 3 minutes late day one. You've now stretched that to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's late, 15 minutes.
But think about that. That's how a habit forms.
Yeah.
15 minutes is late, and especially at work.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you know your boss is like 15 minutes
yeah.
early is on time. So now the delta is 30 minutes
Yeah.
between when you used to walk in and get yourself settled and ready. So you hit the ground running at 8 and now, which is 15 minutes. So you take another 15 minutes to screw around, get your coffee, do your stuff.
Yeah.
Now you're at 8:30 and I haven't had the value of your time for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a really bad habit for work, for sure.
It's a lagging indicator and it reflects badly on you. So the point is, what happens is the worst habits in most of our lives, you don't see it right away.
Yeah.
You feel the pain and it's a punch in the face. For her, I was very clear about, here's what happens the next time you're late. Please don't come to work.
Yeah, you don't play around though.
No.
I could never work for Pri. We never would. I would.
She would have lost her job.
I would have got fired.
It's so sad because you would have been such a great employee and I never would have known. But you would have driven me so freaking crazy. I'd be like, how's someone so brilliant, so good, so excellent at what she does, not care about being on time?
Oh my God, the worst. I've gotten better.
You have.
But for work, that's different.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like, I think, yeah, I could see that happening though. Like you said, like if it starts off small and then it becomes a monster.
Correct.
It becomes a monster.
Well,
it starts out very little and then this monster
and it's
is
a pattern of
created.
life. So what did she do at home? Think about her
Yeah.
patterns. So this is what I want to get back to. I don't want to dive down the rabbit hole of Lisa being late.
Yeah.
Because one of the first philosophies that we have, and I still have it, is when you're late, you're saying your time is more important than everybody else's. And that was something my dad taught me.
Now
you want to
the
hear what's
pressure's
funny?
on. I got pressure. This is some serious pressure over
My
here.
father, this is the funniest part. You and my dad were so alike. My father, by the way, everybody loved Nan and called her his daughter.
He did.
He called her his daughter. So you were exactly like my dad, which was what my dad would say to me. If you're late for me on any occasion, that means you value your time more than you do mine. And I'd be like, well, Pop, sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Now, did he apply that for himself?
Yeah.
100% no.
I knew I was related to him.
He was late. I mean, with a chronic lateness. But of course, he was he was my boss for years. And I'd say, one time I said to him, I said,
that's so funny.
I said, Pops, what about your time being more important than mine? Like you were really super late today. Like, does that mean your time's more important than mine? And he looked at me, he goes, I'm your father. Yes. My time is more important. I actually created your life.
I didn't give birth to, but
He didn't. He said, I created your life. Yes, my time is more important. So all that to say, bad habits happen.
Slowly.
They're tiny, tiny, tiny things that you do. And if you don't feel the pain right away, it turns into a habit. So that's number one. Before you break a bad habit, don't start the bad habit.
Yeah.
That's one of the best things I could say. If that was going to be a takeaway that you walk away, like literally say to yourself, is this serving me well?
Yeah.
Is showing up late to work.
Right.
Is showing up late to work.
Right. You have to be aware of it because I think what happens is we start forming a habit, but we don't really see it yet.
Correct. That's huge.
Yeah.
Say that again.
We start forming a habit that we don't see it yet because like you're saying, we should call it out before we even start it. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. We don't see it being created until we're like knee deep.
Well, we do know when something's not serving us well.
Well,
so you're 100%
You have to
correct.
be aware. Yeah. Not everybody's aware.
Well, like being late is generally
No,
not
but that's being late to work.
So
but,
like give me a habit, which you would
well,
think.
eating, like you were saying about eating, it takes a little time. You don't really feel it until, like I said, you're knee deep, and then you're waist deep, and
Correct.
then you're neck deep, and then you're like buried,
Drowned.
You're like, let me up for air. I've done that too in certain things in my life. You're like, oh man, that's not good. Like I need to get out of that.
See, so I think you're right. One of the things you said was being self-aware. Over and over again in life, understanding what you're doing and whether it serves you or it hurts you. This is what, is it blessing you or is it breaking you? Is it a good habit? Whatever the habit is.
Right.
So for example, one of my habits is to get dressed up every day.
That you do.
Now, is it blessing me or is it breaking me? That's what I think. Correct.
Because you feel good about it.
Correct.
Like you love the way you feel.
So let me just say this. Do you remember when I first stopped working, like when I first retired? And I like my first week of not getting up at 4:30 in the morning and then being at work by 6:30 or 7, I dressed like a hoodlum.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I wore sweats and hoodies.
You did?
And I don't think I left the house. You wouldn't have seen me.
Okay, yeah.
But I literally looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I don't like how I feel. The way I was dressing was breaking me.
Well, that was a very short time because I do not.
I think
do
it was
not
like
remember.
3 days. I think it was 3 days. And I think somebody actually said to me, you look emo.
Oh my gosh. I think you were mourning for a moment.
I might have been.
Yeah, that's probably what you were doing.
So here's the thing. You
Yeah.
say to yourself, here's the quick version. Is what I'm doing right now blessing me or breaking me? Start doing that. Start thinking to yourself, is this blessing me or breaking me? Is this going to make my life better or is it going to just make my life worse? Most people will be like, well, it doesn't affect my life. Give it a week.
Right.
See how you feel.
Right.
How you feel about that habit is the number one indicator. So now, breaking a bad habit. How do you break bad habits? So I want to take a second right now, and I'm going to do this, and I know Nan hates it when I do it, which makes me laugh so hard. So I'm still
What are
going
you
to
going to do?
I am going to, well, you love it when I do this. So I have, talking about breaking bad habits, I'll tell you how I learned how to break bad habits. With this book.
Yeah.
This book. It's called, actually, it's called The Power of Habit, which means that we're not very original, but we didn't take it from them. We were talking about habits having power. And this book is called The Power of Habit, and it's by a guy named Charles Duhigg, who is one of the world's foremost experts on the science of habit. This is a science book. I taught this book twice. That's how incredibly important it was. We went back to it 3 years later in my leadership team because this is so critical. So The Power of Habit, and it's all about, and so I just want to say, the other book is this one. This is a game changer. And I actually am mentoring someone right now who's just started his own company. And we've entered into a mentorship agreement. And this is a book that he asked me to read, but I have been reading this for years. This book changed my life. It's called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. And it's an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. I just want to state for the record, we are not being compensated for these recommendations, everybody. Okay? We're not being compensated. I love these books.
Yeah.
I've read this one. I'm on my third reading. This one I've read twice.
Yeah.
But there is so much to understand about habits. And the reason I poured all the time and effort and energy I did into these two books years and years ago was that I said, if I'm going to lead an optimal company, I have to be operating atop like optimization. And Michael, if you're watching, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg and Atomic Habits by James Clear are the foundations to my best habits.
He might have already read them.
He probably has. But I don't know if Mikey read this one. This is a slightly older book, The Power of Habit.
I'm
not
sure
he's
read
this one
either.
Yeah. So you are a person who naturally has good habits, which is so weird because you've done zero like work to create that.
Oh my gosh.
But it's actually about your the power of self-control in your life. And that's actually what habits is all about. It's about self-control and good choices. So breaking habits and the power of habit, Charles Duhigg talks about the power of your brain. So I want to talk a little bit about brain science. Your brain is constantly optimizing itself. So it wants you to create habits. So it has to think less consciously. Because when you think and you're actually doing new thoughts or doing new things, your brain expends a huge amount more energy than it does if it's just doing something like routine. Routine is your brain's friend. So what your brain says is, oh, we can just do this every single day and I don't need to think.
Right.
So let me give you an example. If you drive the same way to work every day, that's a habit.
Right. Okay.
Your brain has taught you, oh, just follow that route so I don't have to think. Have you ever gotten somewhere and gone, I don't even remember getting here?
Right, it's just a habit. You just know where to go.
Well, your brain doesn't remember because it's so automated. Your brain says, I don't have to expend energy. Next. That's what your brain does. So when you have a bad habit, bad news, your brain is like, this is normal. Let's do normal because I don't have to exert more energy and expend calories. Think of your brain as like a muscle that you're working really, really hard. It wants to rest. It wants to conserve energy. So a bad habit means if you try and just break it on your own, not going to happen. What you have to do, according to brain science, is overlay another habit on it. Do you have something you want to share?
No,
about
I'm just
that?
thinking when you were saying that, because it's just like anything. Think about it. So it's even you playing golf. It's you picking up a club and holding it a certain way. It becomes a habit. You hitting the ball, or you know,
yes,
learning how to shoot. It becomes a habit.
Correct.
It'll all become like a habit for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Many times I've done things and it's like you don't even think about what you're doing. You're just doing it.
Right. Because your brain has actually created a neural pathway where it's like, oh, good, hit auto.
Yeah.
Every time
Autopilot.
your brain is like a pilot in your body.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's fly this plane on auto
Right.
because we conserve the most gas.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't think about, honestly, you don't really think about all those little things that it's a habit. You just think about, well, I know how to do it.
Correct.
No, it's become a habit because you've done it so many times and it's become, like you said, you're on autopilot.
Correct. So now you have a normal, and the normal is eating cupcakes every single day. How do you break that habit? You don't go, I'm not going to eat that cupcake because there's no reward. The reward is how sweet and delicious it is. The way you overlay, you break that habit is every time you want to eat a cupcake, you eat a tangerine.
Yeah.
You're still getting some sweetness.
Yeah.
There's still sugar, but you're saying, oh,
Right, I get it.
I'm not the kind of person
Or
who
eat a
eats cupcakes.
sugar-free cupcake.
This is disgusting.
Remember
Grotesque.
the time I made you eat those Peeps? Just saying. Anyway.
I'm a sugar addict and I love Peeps at Easter time. And I said, we have to stop. This is years ago. I said, we have to stop.
So
I'm really
funny.
craving Peeps. She goes, you can have sugar-free Peeps.
Yeah.
And I literally almost vomited when I ate them.
They were bad.
Sorry to the maker of Peeps. Your regular Peeps are amazing, people.
Yes.
But your sugar-free Peeps suck.
Yeah, they did. I have to say. And I'll eat sugar-free stuff. And I was like,
It's not
It
good.
was bad.
But that is the point.
Yeah.
You overlay a bad habit with a good one. So take that modeling and then create whatever it is for you. You can learn way more about breaking habits with an overlaying of a different habit from this book. And then also this one. So Atomic Habits is about the tiniest portions of every day being like little tiny atoms. Atoms are actually what this book is made of. You have enough atoms, it's created a book, correct?
Yeah.
It creates paper, it creates molecules, and it creates the actually solid matter that's in my hands when all is said and done. I know science. She's about to like zone out and get bored. Sorry.
go.
No, but the whole
Listening.
point is that's about how you break a
Yes.
bad habit. So let's talk about let's start diving into how do you create good habits? How do you make good habits?
How do we make good habits? Well, it's got to be pretty similar how you start making bad habits.
Correct.
Because it's all the same process. It's just which one's bad and which is good.
Right.
So having good habits isn't about being disciplined or having it all together. It's about making the right things easy and repeatable until they become who you are.
That's it. So let me give you an example. In Atomic Habits, James Clear, the author, writes about habit stacking. Okay. Habit stacking is a science thing, but here's the cool part. You can break a habit or you can build a habit by habit stacking. And when you make something easy or hard
Right.
through a series of different preconditions, you can break the habit or build a habit. So for example, somebody watches TV too much. This is in the book. if that person, he talks about a guy in the book who knew that he watched way too much TV. And he knew that it always started after he'd eaten dinner and he turned on the TV for the news, but then he watched TV until like midnight every night, right? So what did the guy do? He hid his remote control. That by creating the pre-existing condition that he couldn't find it, or that he had to go into his garage and pull it out of his toolbox.
Right. Was it more of an inconvenience?
It made it really hard.
Yeah.
So how did he break that? By making it almost impossible to do that. Same thing. If he wanted to get up and go to the gym, he would actually put out his sneakers like right below his bed. And when he got out of bed, he'd slide into his, put the socks on, slide into his sneakers, and he was up and on his way.
In his pajamas and sneakers.
It doesn't matter. He actually had like a bike. This kid had a bike. The young man had a bike.
But I get what you're saying.
So, so what else do you have there about creating good habits? Because I want to talk about that one in particular.
It says to start embarrassingly easy. So small. So if it feels too easy, you're doing it right. So like do something for 5 minutes, 1 page, 1 prayer, 1 walk around the block.
Yeah.
Small habits are powerful because they get repeated.
Right.
So you're not starting out big. So don't already like start off where it's going to be against you. So start off small. Anchor the habit to something you already do.
Right.
Don't rely on motivation. Use routine. Like that would be me, like motivation. So more routine. Just little things like after coffee, stretch, after brushing your teeth, gratitude. Old habit, new habit, automatic. Make it obvious. If you see it, you'll do it. Like you were talking, shoes by the door, Bible or journal on the nightstand, water on the counter. Reward yourself immediately.
Okay, wait, hold that thought.
Okay.
I want to stay with context, making something really, really easy. So when you want to create a habit, it actually, the number one thing you have to do is pre-decide that you're going to make it a habit. So, and there, I have some scripture from this. In Zechariah 4:10, it says, do not despise these small beginnings. In Luke 16:10, it says, whoever is faithful in very little is also faithful in much. And God loves that.
Right.
And then one of the things that I read somewhere was, God rarely forms things in like a dramatic fashion. He forms us. It's almost like a rock with like its edges being smooth over the course of time.
Yeah.
So when you pre-decide something, I'm going to get up and go to the gym. Yes, make it super easy, but you have to decide tomorrow I'm getting up and going to the gym. And tomorrow's the only day I'm going to worry about. And then I'll worry about it, on today's Wednesday, for example. On Friday, I'll worry about that on Thursday night. Tomorrow night, I'll think about Friday morning. Right?
Yeah.
You pre-decide it. You make it stupid easy and you pre-decide it. So then I want to go to this last thing that you just said. Do you remember what you just said?
Yeah. The reward yourself immediately. So your brain needs the win.
Yes.
Check it off. Say I did it. Take a breath. Notice how you feel.
Right.
Good habits stick when they feel good now, not someday. So when they feel good at the moment, it's more rewarding for you, not someday. Like kind of like you were saying, for today, like, feel good for today. You can't worry about like, okay, well, I guess you can, like if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying, but you still have to motivate yourself and make yourself feel good about what you're doing every day.
Well, Len, let me just say something about that. The number one reason, I remember one of my favorite people that I ever worked with was always on a diet. And I'd go, what happened to the diet?
Yeah.
And she'd go, I just wasn't losing weight fast enough. So it works the other way too.
Yeah.
We're talking about what's called a feedback loop. A feedback loop is, wow, I'm going to celebrate the small win.
Yeah.
Because I want to encourage myself to keep doing this thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is, when I'm reading Atomic Habits for the third time, and this like really settled into my spirit, was when most things don't change overnight or even over the year. If you start something and you say, really, really, really want to do this a different way,
Yeah.
give yourself an absurdly long time to decide whether or not it's working. Like literally say to yourself, I'm going to do this. You have to pre-decide it. But then say, I'm going to enjoy that I'm doing something different, even though I don't feel the reward or see the change.
Yeah.
So for example, have you ever noticed, or like if you're listening and watching out there, somebody notices something different about you? Like I'll say, for example, I start a new face routine and someone goes 6 months from today, hey, you look different. Your skin looks so good.
Right.
I started that 6 months ago. If I had waited for someone to notice, I would have stopped doing that face routine a long time ago. But at 6 months, all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to keep doing the face routine. Right?
Yeah. It's it.
You don't want that to be your feedback loop. You want your feedback loop to be intrinsic. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's a struggle. It definitely could be a struggle.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. But this is kind of plays on that. So protect the habit, not the perfection. Not perfection. Okay. So miss a day, normal. Miss 2 days, reset, fast. Okay. Progress beats perfect.
Oh, I love that.
Stack grace on top. But this is what I love the best. Good habits grow best in kindness, not pressure.
Oh, that's so good.
So it's kind of like what you're saying. So it's not saying that people are pressuring, but it's like pressure. You feel the pressure of wanting to see it happening right away.
Yeah.
So good habits grow best in kindness, like kindness to yourself, not pressure on yourself.
So true.
So even if it takes, like you said, it takes a long time.
Well, decide. Decide. Say to yourself, okay, I'm going to start running every day. And it's going to take me a long time for me to notice that I'm stronger. Okay, that I can run more. It's going to take a long time. Okay. It's going to take a long time. I'm not expecting any result anytime soon. The less expectant, the less pressure,
Less pressure.
what you said, the less pressure you feel. What I say, and I hope this helps somebody is, hey, I'm not seeing a result yet, but it's better than where I was. I always go, it's better than what it could have been.
Yeah.
I would rather have been running for, 7 days, which by the way, I don't run. If you see me running, I'm being chased.
You don't run.
I don't run. But what I would say is,
an example.
like the young person that I'm mentoring right now he's training for the Hawaii Marathon. I forgot what the name of it is, but it's in Hawaii, and I know it's a marathon, 26.2
That's close
miles.
enough.
He said you start very small and you go, okay, I have a year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel the results for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's the one who said to me, hey, do you think we can do Atomic Habits?
Yeah.
Because I sent him a podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'll share with you guys at the end. So I think that's a big deal, that feedback loop. I love for you that it's an emotional thing. It's not perfection. It's progress.
not. Because even for me, like I'm not a big runner, but I do run. Well, I haven't run in a long time, but I used to run. So I would set like small little goals for myself.
Yes.
So I would say, okay, today I'm going to run all the way to that stop sign. And then tomorrow I'm going to go to that next road sign.
Right.
Like I always kind of like had a little bit of a goal for myself. Like, so that's kind of
but one that was achievable.
Yeah. And I wasn't so hard on myself.
Right.
Like and I think too, we have to be careful with our expectations of things happening and your habits becoming so, like, I was going to say, like, it takes time to create a good habit.
Yes.
So your expectations can be like, well, because I've gotten mad at myself. I'm like, well, shoot, I messed that up. There goes that habit.
Yeah.
But no, you just pick yourself back up and then you restart.
So good.
You don't just give up.
Right.
It could be like if you're on a diet or something, you go out and you slip or you don't exercise one day or you're, and it could be like when you're really on track and you're doing well.
Yes.
In whatever good habit that you're doing.
Right.
Because even for me, like I want to go to sleep earlier.
Yes.
I want to make that a habit.
Yeah.
Because I want to get up earlier in the morning.
Right.
And then it's so funny because I was telling my husband, I'm like, babe, I couldn't fall asleep. I'm laying there in bed. And it's like, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me a while to be able to fall asleep, like to get my body to program to go to bed early. I'm so programmed to go to bed late, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep on doing it. Even
there
so.
you go.
That's what
so
I'm
good.
saying. Like, you know, to create a habit.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
As I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm
Well,
like,
what I told you when we were talking about this last night, what I told you was wake up at 5
I
a.m.
know.
You'll be real tired by 10
that is so
p.m.
true. So that's what I'm going to.
Yeah.
Right. But if I go to bed at 10 and I can't fall asleep till 12, then it's like I have to force myself to get up earlier no matter what. Is what I
That's
have
it.
to do.
Yeah.
Because I have to get my body like on that cycle. It's going to take me a little while to form that habit.
Well, what I love is that you're going to be kind to yourself. And
Yes.
that's one of your things that
Yeah.
you're working on this year.
Yes.
Like, not being a mean girl to yourself. It's really important, and being
Yeah.
kind to yourself. But like for me, I want to kind of recap because we're coming into we're approaching the end of our podcast. Let's recap. I want you to just think back and think, what are some of the most important things, the 2 or 3 points that you made that are the most important things for you that you shared today? Did you already forget what you said?
No, but I think kind of like what I was just saying, like you have to give yourself time to form a good habit.
Correct.
So
That's
that
a
would
biggie.
be that. Yeah, it takes time. Habits don't just happen easy.
Correct.
Like, it's repetition.
Yes.
I think talking about how to get rid of a bad habit,
Yes.
like overlapping it, or what did you call
Overlaying.
it? Overlaying it is really good
Yeah.
because you can overlaying it with something else.
Yes.
Taking the place of it. I think that's really big.
Yes.
I didn't say it, but you said it.
Thank you for giving me
I'm
the
giving you that.
the
But,
credit.
but that was really good.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes we try to push out a bad habit and don't fill it with anything else.
Correct. And the number one thing about it's called overlaying a habit loop with another loop.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason that if you try and break a habit, I will no longer eat cupcakes, for example. If your brain does not like a void, it deals much better with you substituting something else for that. That's why I said when you have that overlay, that particular habit, you're used to touching something, putting it in your mouth and feeling some
you're
sort of
replacing
reward.
it. Yep.
Like it's called the cue reward. Like you'll learn this if you care about habits and you really want to set a good foundation for the most optimized life you can. Habits are where it is.
Yeah.
67% of the decisions you make every day are based on habits. So when you
Wow, that's
overlay that 67%, so 2/3 of everything I do today is based on habit.
Well, you know what? It's so funny. Like you're just thinking about that because how you react to something could be a habit.
Correct.
So you just saying that makes sense. See, sometimes things just kind of.
Yeah, I said that like an hour
boom.
ago.
But it's like, just think about it. Like I normally react this way. It's a habit.
Yes.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to try to not react this way. I'm going to react this way.
The
But
most
that
important-
becomes a habit.
The most important word you said was I normally.
Yeah.
So I was talking about this with my amazing therapist who I love so dearly. And I wrote this note when I said it. I said to her, do you have any wisdom about habits? This is what she said. Habits are so simple, but so hard to change. They become your normal and what we are used to. And that is why they are so hard to change. That's what you consider normal.
Yeah.
So habits equal
Normal.
what's normal
For you.
If you're able to replace that word,
Yeah.
then everything's a habit. Whatever's normal is a habit.
Yeah, because when you
Good
said
or bad.
that-
Good or bad.
Yeah.
So 2/3. So back to what I was saying about that habit loop. 2/3 of what you do is normal / habit. When you try and replace it, your brain doesn't like blanks. So if you're going to eat a cupcake, you say to yourself, I'm going to eat this mandarin orange. That means you're also pre-deciding something. Oh, I have to travel with mandarin oranges because I have to have something. I used to have an orange when I was breaking my sugar habit, my sugar addiction. I actually put 1 or 2 mandarin oranges in my bag. That's how I know about it. It's sweet and has more sugar than you would want from fruit, but
It's natural.
It was tasty.
Process it differently.
Exactly. So all that to say, that loop has to exist or your brain will never break the old habit. This is why Nicorette gum or Zins or any one of those things, why so many smokers use that. Because they're thinking, well, it's better than just shoving stuff into my lungs. Yes, that's true. Also, it's an overlay. It's a habit overlay. And you're not reaching for a cigarette, lighting it up and smoking it.
No, that's good.
That's the bigger version of what I'm saying now about, I mean, I've never smoked, so cupcakes were my vice.
Yeah.
So yes, that is a big deal.
It is.
And I love that the light kind of came on the
Yeah, because when
habit.
you said that, it's like, oh, it's just a habit. Like you react to a situation, it becomes a habit.
It's not even actions. It could be reactions.
Yeah,
it could
reaction.
be
That's what I'm
mindsets.
saying.
It could be
Right.
thought patterns.
That's right. I normally think that way. Oh boy, you know what I mean? Or just anything. Yeah, it's all day long if you think about that.
I think people equate habit with an action.
Yeah.
But habits are everything. It's the way you think.
Yeah.
It's the way you expect.
If you're negative all the time, that becomes a habit.
It's your mindset.
Yeah.
It's your thought pattern. It's the way you pray. It's the way you don't pray.
Yeah.
Habits are like
Yeah.
the atomic makeup of everything. That's why I love Atomic Habits, the book. Again, we were not compensated for that recommendation. So
I know.
anyway, that's what I loved about what
Yeah.
my amazing
Yeah, it
therapist
was
said.
good.
She said, it's a norm, and that's why it's so hard to change. So you have to create a new normal.
Yeah.
My big takeaways are everything you do is normal / habit. You have to create the new norm.
Change
And
it.
the other thing that I want to make sure everybody walks away with is have faith
Yeah.
in the new good habit. Have faith that it will come in and shine like a diamond, but not right away.
Right.
Believe that what you're doing is
Right.
going to be so good for you, but you got to hang in there and you have to work.
Yeah.
You have to wait. It's a very long game. It's a hugely long game. So that's the thing I want. Those are my two takeaways that I hope everybody, something in what we said really impacts and affects your life profoundly, because habits are the building block of life. There is massive power to bless you or break you in habits.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share?
I want to read the scripture. And then, like you said, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Like your little guy's gonna be doing.
And after you share this, we're gonna pray and we're gonna call it.
So I read this today in my quiet time. Jesus calls us to be makers and maintainers of peace. When we make and keep peace around us, and when we develop the habit of staying at peace, regardless of what happens, people will begin to realize that we belong to God and we can become very effective witness for him.
Oh, I love that.
Right? I loved it.
Where was that from?
It's Matthew 5:9.
Where was the, what, in your quiet time, was it a particular book?
Oh, it's in my Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in my Bible.
It was the note in your Bible.
Yeah.
So I love that.
But I loved it because it talked about and I didn't look it up.
That was this morning.
Yes, it was this morning.
Yeah.
And it talked about habit.
So God was just confirming that he wanted you to talk about it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Staying at peace, make that a habit.
Make staying at peace a habit.
Yeah, I loved it. I was just like, and that was today.
So beautiful.
It's the Joyce Meyer Bible, so she, it has like all the little different.
That's perfect. Yeah. You swear by that Bible, and I love that Bible too.
Yeah, I do. I love it.
Yeah. We've not been compensated by Joyce Meyer Industries.
Lord, people, I think everybody tell her you already know.
We've not been compensated by the Joyce Meyer Ministry.
Or anybody.
Nobody's paid us anything. We just love to share with you. So with that said, let me pray.
Okay, perfect.
And then you're going to remind everybody of what we always want them to be reminded of. And then we're going to call it.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go to the Father. Heavenly Father, we just come to you right now in the name of Jesus. Lord, thank you so much for making us creatures who can choose, Lord. Lord, we choose to start forming good habits.
Yes.
Habits that will feed and build a beautiful and peaceful life. God, thank you so much for making us creatures of habit,
Yes.
that we will build on only good things instead of bad, that we will leave bad habits behind, that we will overlay them with other better good ones that will nurture and nourish our souls and our bodies. Lord, thank you so much for making us thinking beings who can do this and who can find ways to do life differently. Lord, we pray that you would empower us, give us the motivation, help us, Lord, take us from day to day into better and more beautiful habits. And Lord, we pray for everyone listening right now that they would be empowered by good habits, that they would have learned from our mistakes, and that they would use this knowledge to make them greater, because that is your desire for us, to bring us into the fullness of who you created us to be. So thank you, God. We love you. We need you more than air and water. Inspire us, oh God. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, you want to call it?
Remember to take things lightly while doing life deeply.
We love you all
Love
so
you guys.
much.
Thank you for listening, watching.
Yes.
Really appreciate it.
Like and subscribe. We've been talking about subscribing last night. Like and subscribe if you have enjoyed this, and pass it on. We just really want to be, we want to share what we've learned and impact your life in a beautiful and good way, so that you can then impact other lives in a good and beautiful way. See you the next time, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye.
Okay.